What's up guys, KW175 back with another Pokemon Duel video. And real quick, I know you guys already know about it and I'm kind of late to it, but we're going to be able to go up against the developers. So if you have all this pent up anger and rage and you want to take it out on the developers, now's going to be your chance to take it out on them in a league match going head to head with actual developers between the 9th and the 11th. 3 UTC to 259. UTC, there's going to be a bonus time between 2 and 3, 1300 and 1400 UTC, where I imagine they're going to be more active like Carolyn in the Queen's Cup. So you got to keep a lookout for a special mask and hairstyle. Okay, there's already people trolling. I myself even tried to use a certain mask. It was from the first Queen's Cup that kind of looks similar, but yeah, it's a unique mask. Nobody else has it. 3500, there's 2 of them. Crit, Mr. 32, Hissa SN at 3000, 343, Miyu 2500, and then Amar and PS at 2000. So there's going to be 2 in each league class, and that's their rating starting out as of the event starts. So you know, if they're winning, they may increase. If they lose, they could drop, so we could have multiple devs in a certain league class. Now, shiny Magikarp. I would imagine we're going to be able to get at least 10 wins. They gave out a shiny Gyarados, but I'm hoping to get all the way to 50, where we can get 7 days of daily no-cost boosters. It's probably going to be the green button, but you know, we could have 3 days, special mask, special hairstyle. So I would imagine maybe we can get that special developer's mask in the hairstyle that we see on their avatar, and they're going to be out for blood, guys. They're going to be out for blood, so no more fun decks. We're going to have to put together our most OP decks and try to get as many wins as we can, which I think most of us that play League, like, we go in wanting to win, but I know at the beginning of the month people use a lot of fun decks and things like that. But yeah, we're going to be able to check back in every day at 7 UTC to be able to see how many wins the player base has. Currently it's 0. Those are going to be the names. Again, people can always change their names, but you got to look for the mask. So this is going to be the main portion of the video. These are my recent pulls. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen my booster openings. They're linked below. Go check them out. They're pretty fun videos. But this is pretty much what we ended up with after we fused away all our duplicates. So we're going to kind of do a deep dive on these new figures and kind of, you know, theory craft maybe some new decks with Marshadow. You know, it's a fighting ghost type. So Mighty Sphere works really good. It gives a -20 per each of your ghost types adjacent to the battle opponent, so you can get a -40, or if you have a Ghastly, you can get a -60 as well. Now this white attack, the Spectral Thief, you get a damage buff equal to the damage buff that the battle opponent is getting. So with that -20, it's basically a 91 with my chain level. So you can either go neutral or beat any Pokemon that's doing, you know, a base 90 or below, which is pretty nice. Synergizes with a lot of ghosts now, making like Lunala, you know, even Mimikyu, Frostlass. Like, there's so many good ghost types, and with that -20, potentially -40, they're a lot more relevant. And then using the Mighty Sphere has been a pretty you know, meta deck in the higher level leagues. A lot of players using that Mighty Sphere, so really like Marshadow, really good Pokemon. Now we have the Giritina Origin form. Now, we got a buff on the Giritina. It has a base 160, but the Distort here is what makes it even better. This buff was insane. Not only can you move through an adjacent Pokemon, but you can move 2 steps past them, making it a total of a 3 MP, and up until the end of your next turn, if the battle opponent is getting a damage increase, it's actually going to decrease that amount of damage. So this thing in a ghost deck, maybe like a ghost dragon deck, I'd love to try, like a Marshadow with a couple Altaria, Mega Ray, and then the Giratina Origin form with like a Dragon Sphere, Phantom Sphere, you know, full heals, being able to just, you know, teleport around, Distort. You can change your form. There's no plate that you need. You can just activate the ability if you're next to a, you know, a figure, whether it's the opponent or your own, and you're going to be able to change forms, or you can stay the same form. It's up to you, but you do need to change forms, and that Distort's only going to last until the end of your next turn if you want to take advantage of that that ability decreasing the battle opponent's damage. Behem. This Pokemon turns out to be so much better than what I originally thought when I first looked at it. With that takeaway, completely insane. Works really good with multiples, you know, if you have the Elgium and potentially even the Mega Gardevoir, Tapu Fini, like Pokemon that don't go to the PC, even like Dialga with Palkia, because you're going to be able to bring any excluded Pokemon back every time this Pokemon gets knocked out. It gets excluded. It doesn't go to the PC, but then it brings back another Pokemon that was excluded. And then you can use the takeaway to capture Pokemon, so you can capture 2 of the enemy. Then if you can knock out 2 of the enemy, they're down to 2 figures. And if you're going to be able to banish those with like a Fini or a Mega Gardevoir, something like that, you can get a weight win. If you have the Dialga, it gets knocked out. It doesn't go to the PC. It just goes to the bench. So the only thing you got to watch out for is like grass decks with Phantom Sphere. You're not going to be able to take them away if the opponent has Cyclone Kick on a Blaziken or Sunsteel Strike or Moongeist Beam, something that sends you to the PC. And you're going to have to rely on this takeaway. Now, this Elgium is the pre-evolution to the Behem, and I think it's better because it has more purple. The white confuses. I just think it's a better Pokemon. So, you know, running 2 of these with maybe 2 or 3 even, 2 Behem. You know, you could run a Dialga, or you could run like 2 of each, or 3 of the Elgium, and just 1 of the Behem, and then you could run like 2 Gardevoir into the Mega Gardevoir. Like, there's a lot of good decks with it. Now, this Drifloon, I think a lot of people slept on this. I think this is one of the best ghost types that we have. Has a huge takeaway, easy evolution, right? And it works kind of like the Voltorb deck. You can run these Drifloon, easy evolution again. The Tailwind, increasing your flying types to a 3 MP. They can move through Pokemon. And this thing could have a 141. Then with the Marshadow, you're getting that -20. If it's a chain level 10, even more damage. That Hex is so good. If they have a status condition, it does double damage. And again, if you get knocked out, if this Drifblim gets knocked out, you can knock out your Drifloon and knock out all adjacent Pokemon. So it's just like an overpowered Electro Voltorb deck with the ability to be able to capture Pokemon. Like Mighty Sphere takes a lot of placement and strategy. This, you just have to land a purple, and you're going to have a 3-star if you evolve. And that Hex, you know, to be able to do a base 200, 220 if you evolve, insane, insane. Now we have Mega Gardevoir. The fact that you're going to be able to change with any Pokemon between the bench or the PC or on the field is pretty insane, and you can actually attack right after. So it doesn't end your turn. It shows right there. It doesn't say that your turn ends. And that blue, you're going to be able to exclude the battle opponent. I don't think it's as good as Pony Wish, since you can even banish Pokemon that are on the bench. But the fact that it's so huge, and it's most likely going to have a base 170, so it can do a 190, because you're going to be evolving from Kirlia most likely, unless you're using like the aliens. You want to have the Gardevoir so you can go Mega right away without having to try to worry about trying to get that evolution. But yeah, it works pretty good in some Banish decks with like Altaria, with those new rares, with the aliens. So it's a pretty good Pokemon. Then I got this Mega Latias out of the exclusive loyalty booster packs. Was pretty happy about it because I didn't get anything from that banner. So you could also run these with the Behem. They'll bring back any excluded Pokemon with some Eon Flute. Then, you know, you got that Mega Latias plate that they give you as well. So I think there's some use. It negates that gold, which is pretty nice with that Draco Meteor for all your Dragon and Psychic types. Then I got this Mega Gallade, which I wanted for so long. I still think it's pretty good. It's not as good as when it first came out, but the damage is still, it's pretty nice. I mean, it's probably going to have a base 160 and a 130, which is going to do a 180 and a 150. You know, evolving from the Kirlia with the Mighty Sphere, being able to teleport around, you can attack from 2 steps away, which you're not going to be able to get knocked out. You know, with a Shaman landform, being able to keep that on the field for even longer. Pretty insane. Pretty insane. So those are the Pokemon that I pulled. Let's take a look at some of the Pokemon I missed out on, which is basically EX Banette, Mega Banette, and then the Sigilith. Now let's talk about this Sigilyph real quick. It's a 2 MP. You can move over opposing non-flying types, but it says opposing non-flying types. So my question, let me know in the comments if you guys have one of these. Can you jump over your own figures with this? Let me know. And it has a built-in Phantom energy. So if they have 3 of the same Pokemon, you're going to be able to get an exclusion if you surround them. And with that Tailwind, you can get up to a 3 MP. It's going to make it much easier to try to get a surround. And that the Whirlwind's pretty good. It has a base 100, so it makes it a really nice matchup for Zoroark. Now the last question that I have on this Pokemon, let me know in the comments. If you attack and you land that Tailwind, you're going to be at 3 MP. It'll last till your next turn. But if the battle opponent attacks you and you land it again, are you going to be a 4 MP? So does those Tailwinds stack up? Let me know in the comments. Now we have this EX Banette. I missed out on it. I pulled so many, we spent so many gems, I wasn't able to get it. It has the knockoff, right? It stacks up damage every time a Banette, rare or EX, gets knocked out. Same with Shuppet. So these things can get strong pretty quick, especially if you're cycling and you have the Phantom Energy or Phantom Sphere, which I would probably recommend more. So you're going to be able to continue to bring them out. Now, this thing negates Mega Plates. So if they're Mega Evolved and you land that knockoff, it's going to devolve them. If they have a Sphere Plate, you're going to get rid of that Sphere Plate. And I think these Banette work really well with Naganadel. Being able to knock off, like say Mega Ray's coming at you, land the knockoff, you get knocked out, they devolve, you bring Naganadel out, you just excluded that Meteoric Teachings. You know, if you have a deck that's going to be able to curse Pokemon, which we haven't got to the Mega yet, but the Mega does have a curse. Mimikyu has curse. You know, this is just all about capturing and excluding banishing Pokemon. I think this is probably one of the best Pokemon that we got in this banner, maybe the best, but the only problem is you need multiples. I would recommend at least 2 of them. If you can get 3, especially if you have a Mega for all of them, oh my god, just insane. Mega Banette, same thing, does a ton of damage, stacks up every time a Banette or Shuppet gets knocked out. You also get an additional plus 20 for your ghost types. It has the knockoff, but it doesn't have the Destiny Bomb. It has the Shadow Sneak Gold, which is going to be a 90, which is basically going to be doing 110 without any chain levels, a 2-star curse, and it's a 3 MP. So, I don't know, it kind of replaces Mega Gengar in a way. Like, Gengar into Mega Gengar is still really good, because you can hold the Pokemon in place, the Abyssal Grip, if you get knocked out, you bring them to your PC. But the fact that this Mega Banette has a 2-star curse, and it can stack a ton of damage, and it negates Mega Plates, Sphere Plates, I think it makes it a higher priority Pokemon to put into your deck. So I haven't pulled any. I'm so tempted to craft a couple, but I don't want to have to spend 18,000 material to craft 2 EXs and 2 UXs, and I don't even have the Naganadel, which I feel like goes really well with the Banette deck. It's a really good counter to the Dragons or any Mega decks or decks that rely on Sphere Plates, Mega Plates, and being able to exclude those, especially the Meteoric Teaching since it recycles. But yeah, I think we're pretty much done opening boosters on this banner. I pretty much have what I have right now. I don't know, like, I'll have to think a little bit longer, but I don't know that it's worth all those material to craft the Banette and the Mega Banette. But yeah, Dialga and Grubbin. Dialga has the Roar Time. Only Pokemon that's going to be able to reset Banette. Same with Grubbin. Now, if there's another Pokemon that resets the battle opponent, let me know, because I'm not sure. But I want to get into taking a look at some decks that I put together with the figures that I have. We kind of did a deep dive on all the new figures, and now it's kind of time to try to put together some decks. I think a good core is Sableye with the Mega Sableye, Lunala, and Marshadow. Then you can kind of supplement with other Pokemon. This is a deck I'm really excited to try out. It's a Mighty Sphere deck with the Mega Gallade. We have the Lucario in the Mega, we have the Marshadow, and we have the Sableye into the Mega Sableye. Yeah, see, this is the evolution setup. So pretty good levels, chain levels on the Curlia. And level 5 Gallade, definitely need to increase the Mega Gallade, but I think this could be a pretty good deck, you know. Blaziken with the Cyclone Kick, a lot of 2-star purples that want to capture you now. Or if you run into like a Behem in an LGM deck, you want to be able to send them to the PC. We have the Drifloon into the Drifblim to be able to capture Pokemon. Kind of works as a max revive with the OSR deck, and then we have this deck as well, which I think it's almost the same as the other one, but the one I have a max revive and a long throw, and then I have a goal block and a long throw. Not sure that I need the Dragon Sphere. I tried it with a Dragon Sphere, but just for the Giritina. I mean, it has pretty good mobility with the ability anyway, so I think I can drop the Dragon Sphere and just run the Phantom Sphere and the Mighty Sphere. And this was another deck that I tried out. I tried the one that I featured on the channel. If you guys missed that, go check it out. I think these aliens may be some of the most overpowered, like broken decks like in the game now. They're just really good. It takes a little bit of RNG, but man, they're hard to shut down, and you can get into a lot of trouble if they're getting a few rolls. Then we have the Drifloon into the Drifblim, and then we have a base Drifblim with the Marshadow. We have the Gengar and the Mega Gengar, Sableye into the Mega, and then Lunala. So kind of a rush deck with it's like the Mega Gengar Marshadow rush instead of the Coco. And then you have the Mega Sableye, which is always good. Lunala with the Marshadow is really awesome now. That was Supa's kind of one Mega deck build, which I worked pretty well. I definitely liked it. I have the Dragon deck. I like this deck a lot. I definitely want to try it out. And the other deck with, like, you know, the Giratina and the Sableye and the Lunala. You know, this is the OSR deck. I like this deck, which I think is the same. It's just the plates are different. So, yeah, if I had 3 Banette or even 2 and a Naganadel, I would definitely put one of those together with, like, Sableye and the Mega Sableye. I think these Drifblims and the Drifloon work pretty well. It's a pretty safe attack into the Lucario with the takeaway. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know. I'm sure there's so many good deck builds now, and I'm just kind of trying to blow through this. I don't want this video to be too awful long. But, yeah, I don't know. We spent a lot of gems. I want to say, oh, man. What did we spend? 2,500, and then we spent, like, another 20, like, at least 5,500 gems, I want to say. 6,000 gems on this banner. Like, I wailed pretty hard on this banner. And we got some decent pulls, like a lot of bad packs, but I wasn't able to get any Banette or Mega Banette. So that's the only thing that sucks. I don't know that it's worth it to go, like, invest so heavy into those Pokemon. Like, they're really good, but then again, I still don't even have the Naganadel, which you don't need, but I don't know. You could have a pretty insane rush deck that does a ton of power, or that has a ton of power. But guys, I think that's gonna wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Definitely leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell, follow me on Twitter at KDub175, and until the next one, later, guys.